are back, and for this episode, we are playing Standard, using our updated blue-white control deck. So we got 3 lands, so yeah, we can keep that. And let's start with Temple of Enlightenment. I think we can put this one at the bottom. We have 3 lands. Chances are we're going to draw another land, so yeah, we can put that one at the bottom. Oh. Duress. Well, that's a not so common opening. He's probably going to take the counter. Yeah, he did take the counter spell. Well, there's not much going on in our opening hand anyway. And he is casting Mazemind Tome. A black-white tempo deck or mid-range deck? I'm not sure what this deck is. So we managed to find our 5th land, and that's a Fabled Passage. He is going to draw a card eventually, yes, that's fine. This is probably some kind of a mid-range black-white deck, especially since our opponent is not really doing anything up to this point. Leaning War Leader. Ooh. When it attacks, it creates 2 1/1 white tokens. I don't want to cast Shatter the Sky here, so I'm probably gonna delay him for a bit. And since you already know that I have Into the Roil, I can cast it with kick. Bounce it, draw a card, delay him just for a bit. And we got our own Mazemind Tome, so yeah. Ooh, we have Castle Ardenvale. This is one of those cards that I added to this deck. So I'm trying out Castle Ardenvale, see how good this card could be in our deck. Since we are control, creating 1/1 tokens, somewhat unlimited 1/1 tokens for as long as Castle Ardenvale stays in the battlefield, isn't too bad at all. So yes, he is going to cast Leaning War Leader again. I'm probably going to draw with my Mazemind Tome. And I got Yorion. And I got another Into the Roil. Thing is, I don't want to cast Shatter the Sky still because it's just 1 creature and I'm going to replace that card anyway. So Shatter the Sky is not really a good card to play here. So my options are, I can cast Into the Roil with Kicker again, bounce it, and then Mazemind Tome, so I can draw a card and maximize the lands that I have. That's one option, yeah. And yep, I can bounce it with Kicker. Got another land, Temple of Enlightenment. So he's gonna cast it again since we did it on his main phase. He's gonna ask us to discard a card. So he can either discard Shatter the Sky or Yorion here. And he chose Yorion, which makes sense. And that also means he really don't care whether his creature gets destroyed or not. Well, what do we have here? Skyclave Apparition. So this is the second card that we've added in this deck. Skyclave. As an additional spot removal in a way. But it is not just a spot removal, it targets pretty much any non-land permanent that costs 4 more. Plus it's a creature, so it can attack. So, not that bad. So far my new cards, new additions are showing up, and... oh. Alright, well that is still fine. The creature that we took is not going to go back, it's going to go in exile. It will be replaced by a token, which we can take care of using Glass Casket. So not that bad at all. Alright, now probably going to play a land. He is going to make us discard once we pass the turn back to him. That's the only thing I'm worried about. He's probably going to take Shatter the Sky or Midnight Clock here if I pass the turn back to him. Now I do want to cast Midnight Clock because, well, it's a midnight clock, but at the same time, I just wanted to start putting pressure to my opponent's life total because one, he's not doing anything, there's no creature, and he's only left with 3 cards. So I can start putting pressure. But still, he's probably going to take Midnight Clock here because he was given like 3 mana already. And he keep on leaving us with Shatter the Sky, so he really doesn't want to take that. So it's either Midnight Clock or Glass Casket. Oh yeah, so it's Midnight Clock. Mazemind Tome, sacrificed. Gonna draw him another card. Our opponent is really not doing a lot, to be honest, which is really good for us. Since we're control, it's going to favor us. He is now casting a creature that I wanted to use Glass Casket. And this is what I was planning. Create a token and start putting pressure to my opponent's life total. Now we have to Shatter the Sky, but we're going to use Glass Casket here. Shatter the Sky is useless for 2 things. One, yes, we are only destroying 1 creature. Second, it's just going to reshuffle back to his library, so Shatter the Sky isn't really that effective. If everything goes well, Birth of Meletis, so we can get another land. At this point, deck thinning is pretty much what I'm trying to do here, so that in the latter part of the game, whenever we're drawing a card, it's okay. So I now don't have anything left in my graveyard, and I'm left with 2. Shatter the Sky. Now, casting Blood Chief here in my token is not so bad. Light of Hope in my enchantment, not so bad either. Because I can keep on creating these tokens, so he pretty much wasted one of his cards in one of my tokens. Not a bad trade. use Mazemind Tome and gain 4 life, draw another card. Oh, alright. Well, we got a solution to that. Rider. And we're still drawing lands, which is not good. We're only left with 3 cards. Kind of running out of gas. Banishing Light. So we're just gonna keep on creating tokens. I still don't want to cast Shatter the Sky for just one Murderous Rider for the same reason that it's just going to reshuffle back to my opponent's library and not really doing anything. So I'd rather make a bunch of tokens if my opponent's not going to do anything about it and probably draw another card. I'm trying to save Elspeth Conquers Death for a more scary creature. Well, that's that. Yep, no blocks. At this point, I'm probably going to pull the trigger on that Shatter the Sky since my opponent knows that I'm holding that one. But I'm going to attack first. First, it's going to take block 1 of them. 2, cast Shatter the Sky. Murderous Rider will be reshuffled. And we have a counterspell. Castle Ardenvale is doing a lot of work here. Discard 2 cards. That's gonna negate. That's definitely gonna negate. Yeah, that's fine. A 1/2 creature is fine. That is a bit scary. Yeah, Birth of Meletis. Again, I'm just trying to thin our deck, or get the lands that we can get so that we don't draw them anymore. I can't attack yet, so I'm going to keep it down. What? When you gain life for the first time. Oh! Alright. So I guess what I should have done was first casting. Is I should have just casted Elspeth Conquers Death. I should have just casted... yeah, and anyway. I shouldn't have countered it in the first place. I should have just casted Elspeth Conquers Death exile it. Now we're down to one card left. And he's got his own Elspeth Conquers Death, which will target our own Elspeth Conquers Death. So he is going to get one of his creatures from his graveyard, which I guess isn't that bad, but let's create a token first. Our Castle Ardenvale doing its job, doing a lot of work. At this point we can attack, but he's just gonna block one of them, so I guess God. Sadly, our counter spell is Essence Scatter, so we can't counter that. Ooh. So this is like a black-white control. Black-white control, something like that. I haven't really seen that. It's like my first time seeing this kind of deck. Now, we're both left with one card in our hands. And he returned the creature that destroys artifacts or enchantments, so he's taking care of one artifact. Now he's got two creatures. And I have one token. Well, I can create another one, so I can have some blockers, but I need to go. There you go. I need to take care of those two. So the game plan is we'll sacrifice the two tokens so we can block them. Both of them. Yeah. Nothing. Okay. So we can create another token attack first before we cast Shatter the Sky, so at least. Or not. Alright. Yeah, you can take that. Well, that castle is pretty much what I'm waiting for that Field of Ruin. The reason why, from the first time that I put that Field of Ruin in play, the reason why I never cracked that Field of Ruin is because I am waiting for that castle lock. Because if you're playing blue-black, if you're playing black-white, you probably have castle lock. So I guessed it right, and I waited patiently for that. Alright, so far we're getting stable. Sure, he's gonna destroy one of our creatures, that's fine. The only thing I'm worried about here is the second saga, which is it takes something from our hand. I really don't care much about our graveyard anymore because we can't, and we're not gonna be able to get anything back from our graveyard anyway, so that's fine. But the second saga is where I'm concerned. So probably no, I'm not gonna bounce that anymore. I'm gonna cast Banishing Light on that one. So we have somehow, somewhat prevented the second saga to happen. And we can now attack. Finally, your opponent's life total is now below 20. Finally. Well, that's a good sequence. I chose to use Banishing Light. I can now use Into the Roil with Kicker to bounce our Banishing Light. So we draw a card where we got Negate. Again, I really don't care much about the destroy part because we can continue making tokens. So we can cast Banishing Light again. Take that Elspeth Nightmare. And then we can attack. It's going to be down to 12. Slowly we're getting there. We're getting there. Well, I'm probably going to counter that. Ooh, no follow-up. So creating another token. And now we have Dream Trawler. So let's attack first, see if he's going to do anything. Didn't. Cast Dream Trawler. And pass the turn. If he has any single target spell, then we can either let... Well, he doesn't. That is a scary animation. Well, the good news is we have Elspeth Conquers Death, so we can take care of that giant. Start attack. He is now down to 8. We are just a few turns away. And we are empty-handed, by the way. Oh! Another addition to this card. Ugin. I was thinking Ugin as either mass removal and somewhat an additional win condition.
Do not ignore my
Getting Ugin
talent.
at this point of the game is really crucial. And destroying Ugin now.
Proceed in my stead, Planeswalker.
Okay. Well, he... So we're going to create another token. So that's enough for us to kill him. Elspeth Conquers Death's final saga will also trigger, which we're going to take Ugin here and use his first ability. Maybe that's it.
Consider this a warning.
And we won. And if you like this video, you know what to do. Hit like and get subscribed. For now, ciao.